On the 28th of December, the Royal Australian Air Force has announced that their F-35A Lightning II fleet was declared combat-ready. Our F-35A Lightning II fleet can now be deployed on operations, with initial operational capability being officially achieved today, the Royal Australian Air Force said in a Twitter post Monday. Minister for Defense, Senator the Honourable Linda Reynolds CSC said the F-35s are the most advanced, multi-role stealth fighter in the world. The fifth-generation F-35A, along with the F/A-18F Super Hornet, and EA-18G Growler, is key to our air combat capability, and critical to achieving the objectives set out in the 2020 Defense Strategic Update to shape, deter and respond. For the last 2 years, Defense has rigorously tested the F-35A fleet to assess aircraft and system performance, and declare this important milestone. I would like to thank everyone that has worked so hard to get us to this point. To have accomplished all the required testing and materiel delivery is remarkable. The Australian Defence Force now has an F-35A squadron ready to conduct technologically advanced strike and air combat roles, and another squadron dedicated to providing world-class training here in Australia. While 2020 presented significant challenges to all of us, and travel restrictions made it difficult to ferry our aircraft to Australia, the huge efforts of defense, industry and our partners in the United States made today's achievement possible. Minister for Defense Industry Melissa Price said cooperation with industry had set defense up for long-term success. Our defense industry has played a critical role in achieving today's milestone, which continues the success story of Australia's involvement in the F-35 global program, Minister Price said. Just last month we announced that more than 50 Australian companies have shared in $2.7 billion in contracts, demonstrating the Morrison government's commitment to backing Australian industry and supporting Australian jobs. Australia will continue to work with the United States F-35 Joint Program Office, and our industry partners as more aircraft are delivered through to 2023, and a mature capability is achieved. The F-35A Lightning II is the Australian Defence Force's first fifth-generation air combat capability. It is a highly advanced multi-role, supersonic, stealth fighter which will meet Australia's requirements to defeat current and emerging threats. The F-35A is at the forefront of air combat technology. Its advanced sensors and data fusion will allow it to gather more information, and share it with other Air Force aircraft, Navy ships and Army units quicker than ever before. This will greatly enhance the Australian Defence Force's situational awareness and combat effectiveness. In addition to greatly enhanced situational awareness, the F-35A provides its pilots with significantly higher levels of lethality and survivability in combat. Australia has committed to 72 F-35A aircraft, for 3 operational squadrons at RAAF Base Williamtown and RAAF Base Tyndall, and a training squadron at RAAF Base Williamtown. The first F-35A aircraft was accepted into Australian service in 2018, with the first arriving in country in December that year. The first F-35A squadron, number 3 Squadron, will be operational in 2021. All 72 aircraft are expected to be fully operational by 2023. The F-35A is being purchased by the Capability Acquisition and Sustainment Group under Project Air 6000 Phase 2A-2B. New air combat capability. It is the most suitable aircraft to replace the aging F/A-18A/B Hornets. Capable of supersonic flight while retaining stealth, the F-35A has extraordinary acceleration, agility and 9G maneuverability. Every F-35 built contains parts and components manufactured in Australia. And with more than 50 Australian companies benefiting from $2.7 billion Australian dollars in contracts, Australian industry is realising the industrial benefits of the program. The F-35 program creates more than 2,400 high-tech manufacturing jobs in Australia. By operating the same aircraft as allies in the Asia-Pacific and around the world, the RAAF will take advantage of the F-35's powerful sensors to share data to an unprecedented level of interoperability. The global fleet of F-35s will also give Australia advantages in economies of scale on the production and sustainment of more than 3,000 F-35s for decades to come. As a program partner, Australian businesses have the opportunity to supply components for production and sustainment of the entire F-35 fleet, not just Australian aircraft. Every F-35 built will contain some Australian parts and components. The center wing assembly contains machined longerons produced by Lovett Technologies Australia. Sydney-based manufacturer Quickstep also supplies components to the F-35 Lightning II program. Lovett and Quickstep are just two of the more than 17 Australian-based companies currently manufacturing parts and components for the worldwide fleet of F-35s, including Australia's own F-35 aircraft. In total, more than 50 Australian companies have been awarded contracts for the development, production and sustainment of the F-35, valued at $2.7 billion Australian dollars. These contracts will provide more than 2,400 high-tech manufacturing jobs for Australian industry. These high-tech industry jobs contribute to economic growth in cities around Australia, setting up the industrial base with the technology transfer required to remain competitive in the global aerospace marketplace well into the future. Learn more about the people working on the F-35 for Australia. Suppliers across Australia are realising the industrial benefits of the program through F-35 production and sustainment opportunities, new high-tech machines, increased exports and employment opportunities for the next generation. In this video, hear from some of the people behind the F-35 in Australia.
She gets excited when I tell her about the fact that we're having a machine brought to Australia that's bigger than our house. There's a lot of bad press about manufacturing in Australia, that it's a dying industry, but I'm quite proud to say to my friends and colleagues that I work on a growth opportunity.
And see it flying around. It's a challenge, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a good challenge and we're going to do it.